median is the measure of central tendency. Now we have to see what are the merits and what are the demerits of median. First we will take the merits and then the demerits, because merits are more than the demerits, as you can see here, right. Now here in this case, first merit, it is easy to calculate and understand. First merit is that median is a simple value, it is easy to calculate and understand. As you have done calculations earlier and you have learned the graphical method, you yourself will find out that calculation of median is very easy in comparison to calculation involved in case of standard deviation, mean deviation, correlation, what you will be doing later. So in comparison to this, calculation of median is very easy. Rather I would say it is easier than calculation of mean also, because the formula is quite simple, right. So in this way, first merit, it is easy to calculate and understand. Second, it indicates the value of middle item in the distribution, so it is well defined as an ideal average, because in the arithmetic average, arithmetic mean, you have to take the whole series, you have to calculate the mean on the basis of taking into consideration the whole stretch of series. But in case of median, you have to locate it by the central value. As I told you earlier, it is a positional average, not a mathematical average. So it indicates the value of middle item, middle position of the series it indicates. So it is well defined as an ideal average, because normally the middle item indicates the average value of the whole series. So median is easy to define as a good average. Third, not affected by extreme values. In the case of mean, you are taking the whole series ranging from maybe 1 to 1000 maybe, right. So if you are taking the series from 1 to 1000, then the mean is affected by extreme values. But in the case of median, you are not taking into consideration the extreme values, you are just locating the middle item. So extreme values are ignored, right. So it is not affected by extreme values, it is the positional average, so it is locating the middle value only. So this is another merit. Fourth is useful in open end distribution, because only position is to be known. Open end distribution, you know, that means both the sides of the series are open, right. In that case, it is easy to calculate, because you are taking out the positional average only, you are not concerned about the ends of the series, whether they are open or they are closed. So in this case, it is easy in the case of open end distribution, useful in the distribution of unequal class interval, because you are taking the class interval of the central value only. So if the class interval is unequal, then also it hardly matters, because you are locating the positional average, you are locating a value and then looking at the class interval of that particular median value only. So in this way, it is also easy in unequal class interval, not affected by extreme values. Okay, this one has been repeated, so we will ignore this. Then can be determined graphically. Median can be determined graphically, as I told you, right. Mean cannot be determined graphically, but median can be determined graphically, so it is very easy to locate. And proper average for qualitative data such as beauty, honesty, etc. So in the case of qualitative data, where the facts are given in the form of beauty, honesty, etc., then this median is considered a proper average in comparison to mean, because here the ranks are given or the scores are given, then in that case the central value is easy to locate, whereas in the case of mean the qualitative data cannot be taken into consideration, right. So, in this way these are all the merits of median. Now, let us find out what are the demerits, because it is not a perfect way of calculating average, though it is very easy, though it is very accurate, and there are other benefits also, but it has certain demerits also when we compare it with other forms of measures. First, data need to be arranged in ascending and descending order, right. In the case of median, when you did the mathematical calculation, then you were supposed to arrange the data in ascending and descending order first before applying the formula. So, in this way it needs a little effort, and this has to be done very carefully, because if data is not arranged properly, then the calculation cannot be correct. So, the whole data has to be arranged either in ascending or descending order. So, this is little cumbersome, or you can say little difficult, that takes some time. Second, not based on all the observations of the series, as it is a positional average, right. So, it is not based on all the items of the series, it is just taking the middle item, it is ignoring the extreme values. So, in this case it is not based on all the observations of the series. Third, it is affected by fluctuations of sampling. That means, if some samples are given and there are some changes in the sampling, then positional average will be difficult to calculate. So, it is affected in the case of sampling method. It is not accurate when data is large, as it is taking only the positional average or the middle value. Now, imagine if the data is very large in thousands and lakhs, then if you are locating the central value only and you are saying, or you are indicating that this is the median, then this will be just an idea that median is somewhere here in between, but it is not very accurate, because extreme values are given and data is very vast. So, in this way, when the data is very large, it is not very accurate. Then in continuous series, interpolation of the formula is required to calculate median. You have learned the formula of calculating median in the case of continuous series, and there is a little big formula, L1 plus n upon 2 minus Cf upon f into I, and you have to find out what is L1, what is n upon 2, what is Cf. This you have done in the previous lecture. So, this way interpolation of the values is required to calculate median, which is not a very easy task, though it is not difficult also, but it needs little understanding. So, in this way it has certain demerits, but it has many merits also. So, we can say that median is considered a good positional average in certain type of series, right. So, this completes your chapter number 8, that is calculation of median, right. But another part of this chapter is chapter that contains mode. So, we will be continuing with the mode. This completes your one part of the chapter, you can say, that is median. Okay.